Hello and welcome to another video. In this video, we'll be learning how to make a scatter plot using Graph Builder in JMP. So this is fairly straightforward. I'm going to be using my baby dragon data. I'm going to open Graph Builder again, just like all the other times. I can either click the shortcut or I can go to Graph Builder. And here I want to compare, let's say, the weight and wingspan of my dragons. So as my dragons get bigger, does something change about their wingspan? By default, when you put a bivariate dataset on here, JMP is going to select the dots and add the smooth line to it. We almost never want to use the smooth line. So I can see collectively as weight goes up, wingspan goes up. Cool. Maybe I want to break this up somehow though. I know I have different types of dragons, which are denoted by the color of the dragon. So how can I incorporate that information in this graph? I have a few options here. I could group by color on the x-axis, which makes it look like, wow, there's a really strong relationship. These are very steep. I could put it on the y-axis. Oh, okay, well now it's still strong, but it's not as steep. So I don't like using these x and y groupings with scatter data because it artificially changes what the relationship looks like. I could wrap it. I like wrapping because wrapping kind of maintains the aspect ratio of the graph. Uh, or I could overlay it. For this data set, I'm not crazy about overlaying. Uh, I could do, probably just have to leave it at one of these. The thing with overlay is that there's too much going on there. We could try changing the markers, like that can help. Maybe if I make some of these different shapes. But at the end of the day, it's just, they're too interfiled. So I like wrap. I'm going to wrap these and I'm going to set it to overlay. I'm going to take the wrap off real quick because I want to talk about the difference between overlay and color because this is a good point. So if I'm looking at scatter plot data, one of the analyses I might consider would be a line of fit, or a correlation would be another one. But in Graph Builder, we have the tool to do a line of fit on here. If I put my r squared and my equation on here for an overlay, I get a separate analysis for each uh, thing that's being overlaid. In this case, my dragon color. So I have this information for the copper, gold, red, silver, white. I can see that for some of these, the relationship is very strong. For other ones, it's still pretty strong, but a little weaker. Um, Whereas if I do it by color, it'll color code these, but it'll do one fit for all of them together. So that's kind of the difference between color and overlay. If I wrap them, it'll also do it separately. So I'm going to turn that off. Depending on what I want, we almost always want a statistic of some type on there. This is a summary statistic, I guess. We could do the F-test and make it a hypothesis test, but that's okay. I'm also, if I wrap things, I might also put color on here just to give them color. And since these are color themed, I would probably rebrand these. So like the copper dragon could be this copper color, gold can be this gold color, red should be red, silver can be this dark gray, white can be this light gray. Um, I have a sad selection of dragons here, but should have used green instead of white maybe. You can also see visually that there appears to be differences based off the type of dragon. Like the white dragons, our heaviest white dragon is 40 pounds and our lightest red dragon is 40 pounds. So white dragons are probably smaller than the other dragons, whereas these guys have a little more variation, especially copper, gold, silver. Those look kind of similar. Coppers are the biggest, I guess. Red's pretty tight. You can do lots of just visual analysis from the scatter plot. If we had multiple data, we could put error bars on these too. I don't think we'll get any here. Yeah, but that can be useful in situations where you want to have variation on here. And you can add Y variation. It's tedious to add the X variation in jump, but we don't have to worry about that. We don't typically talk about uncertainty in our X measurement. I guess the other thing you can do is, oh, we can do the correlation data, right? The ellipse. So we could put the correlations on here and show the correlation data too. So this is a little more what we're looking for. We'll talk about the meaning of statistics, of this statistic later. All right, so there we have our scatter plot. I'm actually going to turn off this ellipse. This would be fine for a lab report looking at dragons. We might be able to change the here levels per row. Maybe I want 3 columns per row so that it's a little wider. I highly encourage you to right click on anything that you're curious about and play with it. Um, Not everything will make sense, but that's fine. Um, there's a lot you can do in jump, and there's a lot worth learning, I think. So, thank you for this video, and I'll see you next time.